Today, we're going to bust some myths around organic nutrients and explain why they're not necessarily the best way to grow. But before we do, today's video is brought to you by Real Growers Recharge. If you want stronger, healthier plants, if you want bigger roots for better fruits, you gotta check out Real Growers Recharge. It's like an instant compost tea that holds more nutrients at your root zone, breaks those nutrients down, and makes them more plant available, getting more of your nutrients into your plants. Find out more about Recharge over at realgrowers.com. And while you're there, use coupon code Scotty420 to get 20% off your first order. Now let's get back to the show. All right, Hi C, are you an organic grower, man? Are you into organics?
There is like a hippie part of me that really loves the idea of organics.
Sure.
I got to admit, I'm not an organics grower, but I know it's kind of like a dogmatic thing for a lot of growers to grow organic.
There's a human part of me that loves organics. Organics is absolutely beautiful. That's the way that the soil cycle works. That's the way plants naturally thrive and regenerate themselves. It's absolutely beautiful. I just don't know if I want to do it inside my closet.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's talk about organic growing today. And first of all, let's talk about who and why is attracted to organic growing. I think we kind of touched on it. You mentioned it's the closest thing to nature. Who does that appeal to?
I'd just say more naturally minded people. Probably the folks that shop at Whole Foods, the folks that really want to understand. It's very easy to understand organics, organic nutrients. The plant grows something that drops onto the soil. The microbes break it down and bring back in the nutrients back into the plant. Mm-hmm. And it's this whole soil cycle. It's absolutely beautiful.
It is. What I think of, though, is organics isn't always good. I mean, poison ivy is organic. I don't want to be rolling around in it, though.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And by the way, you said organics isn't always good. Organics is natural materials. A lot of times they're mined or, they're composted. So it matters what goes into that. Is it being mined next to a dirty coal mine? Is it being sourced someplace that's just loaded with heavy metals? I remember Waste Management, God love them, they were composting our trash down in South Florida. I don't know if I want to grow my medicine in that composted trash.
Yeah, so organic doesn't always mean better, pure, clean, good for you. There are instances where some bad stuff, you were talking about like heavy metals can get into certain things and still be classified as organic.
Absolutely. These are mined products. Mm-hmm. So it's not going to be 100% clean.
Okay, so moving past the fact that organic doesn't automatically mean healthy.
Right.
You've also talked about the complex nature of organic nutrients.
Yeah. Do me a favor. Bring up this picture if you would. Thank you. Organic, you can see through this picture, organic nutrients don't feed the plant directly. They feed the soil. The soil microbes use their enzymes and their acids to convert that organic material to break it down into a smaller plant available form. That plant available form is called the ionic form.
Okay, so you've kind of explained to me, you could give me a big giant steak and it might be healthy for me, but if it's too big for me to actually bite into it, it's not going to do me any good.
Yep, you need to get little slices off that.
And so that's what the microbes and other soil supplement type stuff will help you do. So
hey, just real quick, this isn't some great mystery that only happens in plants. The exact same thing happens to us. We eat that piece of steak. We have microbes in our guts that digest. They secrete enzymes that digest and make that available to our guts and to our bodies.
Okay, and you've kind of explained it to me before how a synthetic nutrient, it'd be like having a feeding tube with the food already broken down and ready to digest.
It's ready to go. If you think of a plant root, it doesn't have some giant mouth that can open up and chew a giant organic protein particle or something like that. It has this tiny little space, and if a molecule is broken down or if a nutrient is broken down into its simplest form, this tiny little molecular form, that's when it can get up into the plant.
And so growing with organic nutrients, we have to have something in between that breaks it down.
Yes.
Growing with synthetic nutrients, it's already ready to be broken down and just uptaken into the plant.
Yeah, I have a problem with organic plant nutrients, okay? It should be organic soil nutrients, and that's the truth. It's feeding your soil microbes, which are breaking it down and feeding your plant.
Okay, so there's that extra step in between. And isn't that kind of what recharge does?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Recharge is microbes. It's those beneficial bacteria. It's those organic acids and amino acids. The bacteria create those enzymes that are able to break down those large molecules into smaller molecules.
So if you are going to feed organic nutrients, you got to make sure that you're having some sort of intermediary, something like recharge to break those organics down and make them plant available.
Absolutely. Good luck doing it without bacteria or without fungi or without those enzyme secretors.
Without those soil microbes.
Yeah.
All right. Another thing that I've heard you talk about is why you prefer synthetic nutrients is you have kind of total control, and if something goes wrong, you can fix it right away.
Yes.
Is that not the case with organics?
What we talked about, organics aren't plant nutrients, they're soil nutrients. So if I've got a problem in my plant and I pour a synthetic magnesium is a good one. You can see a magnesium deficiency. It's water soluble. You can kind of see it's called intervenal chlorosis. You'll just see that it looks a little funny. You can take water soluble magnesium and pour it on your plant, come back the next day. Maybe even the same day. And you go, hey, it's better. Mm-hmm. That stuff went right in. That chemical went right into the plant through the roots, and it immediately started working. If you're putting an organic form of magnesium down, you have to feed it's a big molecule. The microbes have to break it down. Then the microbes have to deliver it to the plant.
So instead of being able to fix it immediately, you have to pour it into the soil, let the microbes do the thing. And how long? That can take a couple of days.
Yeah, yeah. It's a delayed reaction is all I'm saying. So if I've got a problem and I forget, my plants, I'm growing them for 90, 100 days at the most. Mm-hmm. I don't want 3 or 4 days of them, looking, and, the idea with these plants is you keep them growing strong. You never let them slow down. I don't want them hanging with a magnesium deficiency for 3 or 4 days.
For your style of growing, we should emphasize some people, the organic people, they probably are like, hey, it's okay that we have to deal with, but then
you've only got a certain amount of time for these plants. We just talked about it doesn't matter if it's an organic molecule or a synthetic molecule. The plant needs that nutrient.
Okay. Let's talk about quality real quick, because I've seen some decent organic grown cannabis.
Man, I've seen some great organic grown cannabis.
Okay, yes. But the majority of the really good stuff that I've seen comes from people that grow synthetic. It seems like it's a lot easier to get really good quality using synthetics. Why is that?
Yeah. Can you feel the people that are throwing things at the monitor right now, at the screen?
Yeah, we just lost half of the viewers.
Because you have to if you're starting. Shout out to my buddy Jeremy from Build a Soil. He's an amazing organic grower. He understands all the inputs. He can anticipate how his plant is going to need them. So when he builds his soil, it's his company Build a Soil, he's putting everything in there so the plant can pull from it. It's not super simple to do that. And if you make a mistake, man, you're kind of tied to that mistake a little bit, So it's for me, if I make a little mistake with with synthetics, I can fix it. And these plants could use a little nitrogen right now. I'm gonna put some water soluble nitrogen on there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, things like that.
Yeah, so for a newbie grower like me, that's the biggest reason I don't go with organics, is because I don't trust that I have that knowledge. It's a lot easier for me to get good results using something like grow dots.
Yeah, and I mean, yes, and grow dots or just synthetics are much faster way, less barrier to entry, less things to learn. Mm-hmm. And there's so many people. People do this for different reasons. I do it because I want really great quality medicine. There's folks that do it because they love being in their gardens, or they love that soil cycle. It gets them closer to nature. Mm-hmm. That's perfect. And you can get really good at growing organically. Yeah, I'm not dissing it at all.
But the main takeaway I think that I'm getting from this conversation is, if I am growing organically, I need to be using something like Recharge or some sort of soil microbes.
Yeah, and the whole big thing in organics is making your own microbes, you're composting, things like that, to where you're brewing your own microbes as well. So that's something that organic growers are into as well.
Yes, I've seen people making really messy, stinky compost tea.
Well, because they know, though, those organic components cannot be broken down unless they've got microbes going in. So if you're one of them people that likes to build your own soil, maybe you like to make your own fermented plant juice extracts and your own microbe teas and all that, that's awesome. That couldn't be further from me. But what about you? Do you like synthetic growing like me, or are you an organic grower? Do you think I got it all wrong? Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, please hit that like button, press that subscribe button, and check out the other couple videos YouTube's recommended for you.